Well, this week, Oregon's Department of Transportation warned that without new funding from the legislature during the upcoming short session, they're faced with a budget gap of nearly $250 million and would need to eliminate nearly 600 vacant jobs and lay off around 500 current employees. Of course, this all goes back to the transportation funding package passed in the fall, which included several tax and fee hikes, like a 6-cent jump in the gas tax. But some Republican lawmakers gathered enough signatures to put those hikes on the ballot for voters to decide in November. After that happened, Governor Kotek called for lawmakers to repeal the funding package altogether during the short session. Basically, a political ploy to make that referendum effort a moot point. But new reporting this week from the Oregon Journalism Project says repealing the bill may not actually be allowed. And that's thanks to a legal opinion from 90 years ago. And we think it's worth your time. The story was published Thursday by Nigel Jaquist. The headline, AG's opinion raises questions about transportation tax repeal. The opinion is from November 1935, related to a bill that had to do with student fees at Oregon colleges. Before the law took effect, voters gathered enough signatures to put it on the ballot. So then Governor Charles Martin asked then Attorney General Isaac Homer Van Winkle if lawmakers could just repeal the bill rather than deal with the referendum vote. In Van Winkle's opinion, the answer was no. Well, turns out the opinion is so old that it's not available online, but a reader found it at the Oregon State Library and tipped off the Oregon Journalism Project. It's not immediately clear if the 90-year-old document will prohibit lawmakers from repealing the law, but Republicans behind the current referendum effort argue it absolutely does. This Attorney General opinion makes the law unmistakably clear. Once the people invoke the referendum, the legislature has no authority to repeal it out from under them. The Constitution requires an election. There is no statutory workaround, no procedural loophole, and no legal basis to keep this measure off the ballot. We'll be watching to see what happens. Though if you'd like to read more of Nigel's report, which includes some other statements from state leaders, check it out now on OregonJournalismProject.org.